Hey riders, here we go again. Time for a little tour down under. I know it's been a couple of days waiting for this next video. Had a little troubles here, but we're going to give it a shot. So what I found on Rouvy for this video, they have the Willunga Hill route captured. So what I've done here is just set myself up. I'm in just ride mode. As you can see before, I selected a fourth Ghost Rider to ride with me. So I have Will, Peter, Lauren, and Emma. And there's currently, it looks like about 11 riders ahead of me en route. I've got the video playback sped up to about 150%, just to kind of show you all of the route. So Willunga Hill is part of the Tour Down Under. It's a very famous hill climb. It's a stage finish. It's usually late in the race, and you know we're back to World Tour road racing again. I know cyclocross season is in action right now. Awesome part of the world. So we're currently just outside of Adelaide. We're kind of like to the south and west of it. So you know you've got the beach within probably 15 minutes of where we are, and then you can climb up into this beautiful part of the world. If you look at the scenery on the sides of the roads, you're going to see a lot of grape fields. So the region we're in right here, I'm going to give it a little shout out here, is called McLaren Vale. Apparently it's world famous for its wine production. There's vineyards everywhere here. As you can see on the map mode, we just took that hard corner into McLaren Vale. And at the top of the screen on the map mode, you'll see a little green bubble chasing me. That's Ben Sims 1977, who joined my ride after I started. So there's always going to be someone online that you can kind of chase after, or maybe they can chase you. But what I'm going to do here is jump straight ahead. Let's get to Willunga. Let's get to why we're really here. So we're just cruising into the outskirts of Willunga right now. The video has gone through some compression, so if you see anything that you kind of think throws you off, don't worry about it. This is a 9 gig video. I've compressed it down to like 1 to get onto YouTube, but it looks pretty good. So we're passing the gas station here on the left-hand side. Over to the right by just a couple of blocks is the big Willunga cricket field. I checked that out on Google Maps. There'll be some paint markings on the road in the middle coming up. That's going to lead us into a left-hand bend in the road. This is Willunga itself right now. And this bend in the road here, I've seen this video so many times on other YouTube videos in professional race coverage. This is going to be the lead up to the climb up Willunga Hill. Now, Willunga Hill, very important in the race. Again, look at the little buildings on the side of the road. Tell me you haven't seen these all before. So Willunga Hill itself, the Strava segment is 2.99 kilometers with 222 meters of climbing, giving it an average gradient of 7.4%. The route on Rouvy is a little bit longer. It's 31.7 kilometers, the total route. We're doing like a big circuit today with 502 meters of climbing. Now, the actual start for the segment is at the old telegraph station / post office, and that will be coming up on the right here pretty quick. You'll see it. There'll be some cobblestone crossing in the streets, and there's a big tree on the left-hand side that kind of marks the official Strava segment start. So the segment that you're seeing here on the bottom of the profile, that's the Rouvy Willunga climb segment. And it's true, you are climbing all the way. It's a 5-kilometer climb on that one. That's why I ended up climbing 500 meters versus the Willunga Hill 222. So there's the old telegraph station on the right-hand side of the video at this moment. Here's that big tree I'm talking about. We're on the segment now. So again, very famous climb at the Tour Down Under. Must be fantastic weather. At this time of year, it looks like they're around 30 degrees Celsius every day. So very high 80s Fahrenheit to low 90s Fahrenheit kind of weather, which could be pretty tough on the cyclists. So this segment itself, Richie Porte, Australian cyclist, retired now. He won this stage 7 times in his career. So 7 times he dominated Willunga Hill. He actually has the Strava segment record set in 2020 at a time of 6 minutes and 34 seconds. Guarantee you right now it's going to take me a lot longer than that. And remember, I've got my video sped up too. So I'm actually riding a little bit slower than this. The video's been sped up so that we don't spend all day here. But I just wanted to show you how good the video looks. I think I downloaded this in an HD video, so the total file was like 9 gigs. But again, I've really compressed it hard, so you can imagine how good it can probably really look. What's one thing that's cool to know here too is that this old road, I'm guessing maybe Willunga was more on the outside, and that's why they call it Old Willunga over here, with the newer section, like new buildings, being New Willunga. I'm not really sure. If you're a local and you know the answer to that, please drop it in the comments. Fantastic road to ride on. Very small shoulders. This reminds me of riding at home, where you have that little tiny paint marker and 6 to 12 inches of living space, if you want to call it that, before you step out and get hit by something. But I think in this part of the world, cycling is so huge that all the locals here know, hey, there's going to be a ton of cyclists out. Take it easy up that road, or keep a good eye out for them. So I've been watching here as I'm riding. I'm chasing this guy up the hill called Thayl, Thayl, slowly dragging him back. But at the same time, too, I can see that green bubble on the bottom of the map. That's Ben Sims, 1977, and he's slowly starting to pull me back, too. So kind of playing a little game here now of, do I want to be caught? Do I want to get away? Of course, my answer is I never want to get caught. So if Ben Sims is going to catch me, he's going to have to work for it, because I'm going to work to stay away. I'm going to hopefully be able to bridge up to Thayl. Maybe we can ride together for a little bit. Share the draft. As you can see here, the drafting is on up the hill. So I'm riding in just ride mode at 100% reality. So you will get all your coins, and you will get some drafting as well. The drafting here is pretty minimal. The good thing about this climb too is that even though it's pretty famous, this climb, does it deserve iconic? I'm not sure. That's reserved for a few other climbs out there in the world. But this climb's not going to kill you. It's 7%. The very worst part of the climb, the 11% stuff, is at the very beginning when you're leaving town. So if you can survive that, you can make it up this thing. I'm sure a lot of people around here ride this multiple times in a day, the hardcore cyclists. In fact, Stage 5 of the 2024 Tour Down Under, they will come through here. Basically the route, I'm almost positive the exact same route that we took up here. They will come up here, they will turn at the top where the Strava segment ends, goes past, I think there's a few little stores up there, maybe like a feed shop or something, maybe a tack shop, I'm not sure what it is. Cruises along the road a little bit, hangs another hard left, and then bombs down the other side of the hill or the ridge in the area, which you can see on the profile on the bottom. Now, if you know the name of the other climb that's coming up from the other side, just drop it in the comments. I didn't look it up yet. I'm assuming it's not called Willunga Hill anymore at this point. It's called something different. So we're cruising up. We're slowly gaining on Thayl here. Feeling pretty good. I'm still managing to easily push, 3 watts per kilo up this. I think in Richie Port's numbers, those guys are riding this more like in the 6.5 watts per kilo. So really impressive, pushing out more power, and they're lighter than me. That's what a World Tour Pro can do, right? Yeah, motoring along. So you can see my ghosts are, I've got 2 ahead of me, 2 behind me. They just kind of keep me company all the way. And like I said, that little bit of draft is pretty motivational when you're out there. If you can get 1 or 2 watts draft, you're making progress, right? So we're coming to the end of the segment here shortly. I think we are we're still got like a kilometer to go anyways. Moving right along, and I can see the gradient here is decreasing, so we're able to pick up a bit of speed. It's not super fast right now. We're still under 20k an hour all the way up through here, more like 14, 15k an hour. But great ride, and I thought tremendous video quality here. So again, if you've done this ride before in real life, just let me know in the comments. When you see this video now, how does it compare to being out there in the real world? I think the video was done very well myself. So cruising along, I can see Ben Sims is coming up behind me, and there's actually an additional rider further back. So you can see on the far left-hand side of the profile there, on the bottom of the screen, you can see a white bubble. There's a couple of riders together there, and then there's a red bubble even further back, someone else just starting out. So I'm pretty sure these are all brand new AR routes for Rouvy. So if you're into the tour down under, or maybe you're trying to find a way to ride Willunga Hill, it's available right now. You can get out there and do it. And the beauty of this course too is that it's not just the climb. You're not just going to ride 3 kilometers up it and be done, 222 meters of climbing. As I said earlier, it's almost 32 kilometers, so it's about 20 miles long with 500 meters of climbing in total. You know, because the first part of the climb is kind of rolly up and down, nothing major, like 2 and 3% gradients. And there's a few little kicks on the end, just rollers again. So moving on up here, we're getting on up the hill. We're looking for that hard left turn. And where that left turn is at the Tour Down Under, that's the actual finishing chute. So they will go through it once and then come all the way back around, like bomb down the hill on the other side, which could be a great place for breakaways to get away during the race. Come back through Willunga and up the other side. So it's kind of interesting to see how that'll play out. I really am looking forward to it this year. Beautiful climb. You know, you've got a lot of tree cover here too, so even if it is hot, you're getting some shade at times. Also wanted to point out too, if you haven't noticed yet, watch the dynamic shadows in Rouvy here. The shadows are moving with the position of the camera relative to the sun. Does a really good job, I find. They're not just stationary in one spot. So right now you can see the shadows on the right-hand side of me. And as I start turning to the left, if the road does that here, I think the shadows will start kind of going over to the back side of me, which it looks like it's doing right now. It's more like on the back right-hand side of me now. And now as we're heading towards the sun, now the shadow is directly behind me. So that's all been programmed in here. I only noticed that maybe about a month ago. Never saw that before on Rouvy. I just thought, oh, there's a fake shadow on the road. But yeah, they're real. They're reacting with, I guess, the primary sun spot that the camera's picking up. So getting very close to the end now. Looks like we've pulled out more gap on Thale. Looks like we're under a couple hundred meters now. And Ben's coming up behind us, pushing good power. I can see the course leveling off at the top now, though. You can see, check out the profile on the top left-hand side. We're going to be getting flat soon. In fact, right away you should be seeing the Willunga Hill crown on the road. In fact, it's right on the screen right now. I'm not sure if that's paint, chalk, maybe it's a year-round thing. They could paint it. And now we're going to swing the hard left. This will be, I believe, where the finish line is for the race. Obviously, they go around twice. There's that store I was talking about to the left-hand side. The Rouvy segment just finishes down the road a tiny bit here. So the Rouvy segment, we just crossed it now. You're going to see me throw my arms in the air. This is a standard thing on Rouvy. Just wanted to show this part here too. So we jumped ahead a little bit. So I've now caught up with Thale, probably a couple of kilometers down the road. And you know, so at this point here, I'm thinking, hey, let's work together. So I kind of got ahead of Thale. I'm on a Cervelo S5, and Thale, I noticed, was on his Rouvy bike. So I'm hoping Thale knows what I'm doing here. I'm letting off the power. You can see now I'm under 2 watts per kilo, 1 watt per kilo. I'm trying to tell him, hey, jump on my wheel. Let's ride together for a bit, because I got a little bit of a draft off Thale when I went by him. So I'm hoping he can get a draft off me. Thale's now trying to catch back on. I'm just soft pedaling. Thale kind of cruises past me here with a little bit too much power. Makes me react to get back on his wheel. And you can see I'm drafting him right now. So if you see someone online and you're in just ride mode, you can get a draft off them. So problem here is, though, I'm on the fastest road bike in the game. Thale's not on the fastest, and I'm entered a downhill section just now. So I kind of like squirted right past him. And the gap just grew real quick. And I can see Ben kind of closing the distance behind us. You know, he's coming up quick. I had a little look back here. You can see my avatar just did that out of the blue. And I'm like, I think I need to just go by myself, because I'm now entering another hill. And I know I've got, you know, an aero advantage going down this hill over Thale. So I just took off by myself. Another hard left. This is where you start bombing down the other side of the plateau or the ridge that we've been on. So me, Thale, and Ben Sims have been on top the whole time. You can see them. They're the little white bubble behind me on the profile. It's kind of overlapping with my blue one. So this is the start of the descent. I imagine at the race some people are going to try to get away here. it may be hard to do. I mean, high-speed descent, I'm not sure how much of a gap you can get on this stuff. Everyone's going to know there's not that long left in the stage. It's basically bomb the hill, a little bit of flats through the grape fields again, and then up Willunga Hill again. So if you look carefully here in the background, what I'm trying to capture here is, one, us bombing down through the trees, but you can see the ocean way out there. So just a fantastic part of the world to live in. If it wasn't a 16 to 18 hour flight from Calgary, I would love to go ride my bike here. Just, I think if I took a flight of 16 to 18 hours, I would need a week off to recover from the jet lag. So yeah, just bombing down the hill. I'm going to actually probably cut right to the end here pretty quick, because this is just me coasting down the hill. You can see I'm not even pedaling here. And then it's just through the fields again. And in fact, some of the last part of the video is stuff you've already seen, because we're coming around the circuit. So here we come to the finish. I haven't done a sprint in a while. With my new trainer, it's got a bit more movement than what I like. So I used to like to sprint finish all my rides. Here's the finish line right coming up on the map mode. So I thought today I'd give it a little bit of a go. And let's see what happens here. So I got the draft on my ghosties. I'm coming up beside them. Let's do a little bit of a jam of a sprint here. It's not much. Just wanted to see what's in my legs today. And there we go. So that was Old Willunga Hill. You can find it on Rouvy.